I was 24 years old, who's got always faculties right, getting trained by one of the best trainers in the United Kingdom, and then mate, it's like you got more chance of winning the lottery than you being that Moses Itauma.
And on the subject of uncomfortable realities, Johnny Nelson also weighed in, raising serious doubts about Dubois's mental toughness. His critique cuts deep, not because it questions Dubois's physical tools, but because it exposes something far more critical: his dependence on others. At the highest level of the sport, champions need to steer their own ship, mentally, professionally, and personally. If Dubois struggles to assert himself against family influence, how can he expect to overcome someone as focused and self-driven as Moses?
Don't fade out. He keeps going, you know. He keeps going, you know. So it's just one of those things, like, you have to walk into the arena and just become a demon, do you understand? And just go with that. Don't even doubt yourself, just go with it.
That's a dreadful fight for Moses Itauma.
He would.
I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man, let him develop the same as every other fighter, let him learn his trade.
Prove Moses. So he could look at people like him, he could look at George Joyce, he could look at all those guys that are just on the fringe, just to say, right, now you're ready, off you go, see if you can get it in before you're 21 years old. And so Moses has got everything in his favour. Yeah, then people are going to get all getting excited. Put him in.
Daniel Dubois. How are you getting on with Daniel, by the way? Do you even speak much? Like, how's it go?
You know what? I'm actually surprised. He's completely different to what he portrays, like what people think he actually is. Like, no, I was surprised.
Derek Chisora didn't hold back when reacting to the matchup between Moses Itauma and Daniel Dubois. His frustration was obvious. And honestly, he had a point. Moses appears to be operating on an entirely different level. More focused, technically refined, and clearly more driven. Chisora's straightforward critique hit home. While Dubois seems like a long shot, Moses carries the aura of someone on a destined path.
But when you get to elite level, you can't get away with it. I don't think Daniel has the capability, strength in regards to talking to his dad or standing up to his dad or standing up to that setup. I don't think he has the strength to do that, and which is why it will always hold him back. You got to look. This is personal business, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. Caroline, she, as far as I know, she doesn't work with her dad. There must be a.
Tony Bellew nailed it. This fight goes beyond your average heavyweight showdown. It's a full-blown event. Fans are hooked, the buzz is off the charts, and the energy surrounding it is electric. For Dubois, it's a high-stakes moment loaded with pressure. For Moses, it's a golden chance to shine. And there's no grander platform than this.
Out of 10, and he walked straight past you, straight to the corner, he was completely fine. I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say, I've quit. It's not horrific to say, I'm quit. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway, he quit.
Adam Smith puts it plainly. Moses isn't just gifted, he's a full-fledged force to watch. With a southpaw style, powerful punches, smooth footwork, and the confidence of a future champ, he's got it all. The big question now is about timing. Is Dubois facing this emerging talent prematurely? Or is everything aligning perfectly for Moses to make a breakout statement?
This fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
It's going to be huge.
There's 135,000 people on a waiting list.
Yeah, Eddie Hearns tweeted that.
When it comes to handling pressure, Dave Allen didn't hold back in his assessment of Dubois's past. Known for his unfiltered takes, Allen labeled Dubois a quitter, a reputation that's lingered ever since the Usyk fight. That moment still cast a shadow over his career, and fans haven't let it go. Facing someone as relentless and hungry as Moses, giving in isn't an option. If Dubois folds under the spotlight again, this won't just be another defeat. It could mark the turning point where his career truly unravels.
On the block, Moses Itauma, who looks absolutely extraordinary, and for me, he ticks all the boxes. I like his attitude, I like his style, southpaw, hard-hitting, moves so well. He's going to be very, very difficult to sort of deter. So it's an interesting one because, is this too soon for Moses, or is this just the right fight at the...
Even Moses openly acknowledges there's still plenty to learn. especially in the later rounds. His maturity shines through as he admits he craves those tough moments, the grind that shapes true champions. This kind of mindset reveals a deep understanding of the sport's demands. He's not shying away, he's eager to grow. In contrast, Dubois has faced these challenges before but cracked under pressure. While Moses talks about progress and development, Dubois leans on excuses. The difference in their mental approach couldn't be clearer. Moses is building, preparing, and relentlessly pursuing greatness. This is the same mentality that propelled Usyk to the top. Moses already envisions himself at that elite level, and that alone should send a warning to Dubois. What's even more striking, Moses is just 20 years old.
Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over Dillian. I hope you understand that when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. You know, I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably...
Tony Bellew's experience with top-level fighters gives his opinions serious weight. When he praises Moses' abilities, it's more than just casual compliments. It's an acknowledgement of a fighter who is truly complete. The only hesitation Bellew expresses concerns Moses' size, but even that doubt quickly fades with comparisons to Usyk. This distinction is vital. Bellew isn't suggesting Moses is just promising, he's declaring him the future of the division. Contrast that with the conversations around Dubois, often filled with skepticism, questions about his mental toughness, and even whispers of quitting. Moses is already being hailed as the heir apparent, the one destined to lead the heavyweight division forward. That's the kind of recognition every fighter hopes for, something Dubois has yet to receive. When Bellew names someone the future of heavyweight boxing, the world pays attention, and Moses fully earns that respect.
We're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never...
Russ Amber isn't swayed by hype. His eye is trained to notice the finer points that only a veteran of the sport would catch. What stands out to him is a skill set that could define a generation. That's the scary reality for Dubois. While Moses receives praise for his footwork, timing, and calmness under pressure, Dubois is often labeled reckless, predictable, and vulnerable mentally. When Amber names Moses as one of the best talents in recent years, it's not empty praise. It's a declaration from someone who's witnessed world champions rise and fall. His remark that Moses' abilities already surpass most speaks volumes about the trajectory this young fighter is on. Dubois represents the present moment, but Moses embodies the future, and the gap between them might already be too large to bridge.
He's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he's got a good team around him, Ben Davison and Lee Wiley is the brains that study everything, and they use what we call video analysis now in boxing. They're the one.
Even Eddie Hearn, a man well versed in managing risk and timing, has openly acknowledged just how risky this challenge is. His caution highlights the enormous pressure surrounding this fight. At just 20 years old, most fighters are still quietly developing, but Moses is far from typical. Hearn knows the danger of rushing a young talent into a high-stakes bout too early. It can derail a career. Yet with Moses, there's an undeniable sense that is more than ready. That's the tough call. Should they shield him or let him run free? Dubois, meanwhile, has had plenty of protective opportunities but hasn't delivered when the spotlight was brightest. The difference between them couldn't be more obvious. Moses' future isn't a question of if, but when he'll rise to the top, while Dubois is fighting to reclaim what remains of his legacy. Hearn's hesitation only serves to emphasize Moses' exceptional skill. Few fighters his age are even thrown into battles of this magnitude.
Let's get that right. However, the intrigue that surrounds this fight, I've got young kids in my gym that are going to be tuning into this fight.
3 generations are going to watch it, aren't they? That's what's great.
To me, they're so excited about it.
Spencer Oliver isn't just predicting a win for Moses. He expects a performance that will turn heads. That's a bold claim, implying this won't be a tight fight, but a statement-making display. For Dubois, that should be a serious warning. Whenever the pressure rises, his shone cracks. Moses, on the other hand, flourishes when expectations are high. Oliver's forecast is grounded in what fans have witnessed: smooth movement, calm composure, raw power, and the slick southpaw style. At just 20, Moses isn't only expected to defeat Dubois, he's poised to announce himself as a future world champion. When an expert like Oliver speaks with such certainty, it says a lot. It's no longer about if Moses will win, but how impressively he will do it. Dubois has the experience, but it hasn't yet translated to control. Moses has the skill, the support, and the mindset to take over. And Oliver believes this is his defining moment.
Or he might knock him out, I don't know. But personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of...
Duke McKenzie perfectly sums up why this fight resonates beyond titles and rankings. It's about capturing the attention of entire generations. When kids are talking, gyms are buzzing, and families are debating over dinner, you know it's more than just boxing. That's the kind of impact Moses is making. At just 20, he's sparking excitement among fans of all ages, something Daniel Dubois has struggled to achieve. Dubois's career has been marked by missed opportunities and shaken confidence. Meanwhile, Moses carries the presence of a genuine star, one whose appeal goes beyond the ring. McKenzie points out that this fight isn't just a spectacle people watch, they feel emotionally invested. When multiple generations come together to witness if a young prodigy can topple a fighter who's faltered on the biggest stage, the stakes grow even higher. Moses isn't merely facing Dubois, he's battling to establish himself as the next heavyweight icon.
Because he knows it's last chance saloon for him. He needs the victory here. So, look, we find out just how good Moses Itauma is, I think, on the 16th of August when he boxes Dillian Whyte, because I think he wins it and wins it in style. But everyone they put in front of him so far is just dismantled. I think this kid's going to go on and...
Amir Khan's perspective carries weight because he's experienced the pitfalls of being rushed too early. His advice is straightforward. Don't hurry Moses's progress. Yet despite Khan's calls for patience, Moses's name is already being mentioned alongside giants like Usyk, Dubois, Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. While most 20-year-old heavyweights are still under the radar, Moses is firmly part of the elite conversation, a testament to his exceptional talent. Khan's caution makes sense. Protect the young fighter, guide his development, and time his rise carefully. But the buzz around Moses is undeniable, and fans are eager for those big matchups now. Dubois, by comparison, was given every opportunity to develop gradually, but when it mattered most, he faltered. Moses's path feels different, calculated, deliberate, yet unstoppable. When you possess this level of skill, the sport can only hold you back for so long.
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. And that's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him.
This fight represents much more than just two heavyweights facing off. It's a battle of pride, pressure, and the future direction of British boxing. Moses Itauma enters as the fearless young prodigy, only 20, yet carrying himself with the confidence of a seasoned world champion. His slick southpaw technique, precise timing, and composed mindset all point to a destined path. For Dubois, it's a stark contrast, burdened by expectations, haunted by past setbacks, and the lingering question of quitting when it counted. A victory for Moses would send a clear message to the entire division. A new era is dawning, and the heavyweight crown is beginning to shift. But if Dubois manages to pull off a surprise, it wouldn't just be a win, it would be a career redemption story. That's exactly what makes this matchup so unmissable. So, here's the big question. Are you backing the fearless Moses Itauma, or do you believe Daniel Dubois will finally silence his critics? Share your predictions below.